The all-time great Pittsburgh Steelers, a franchise that is considered Titletown post-merger with a stout and hard-nosed defense. And the all-time great San Diego/LA Chargers combination, a franchise that is finesse in the Southern California heat. Welcome to Sunday Night Football in Week 6 of the BTFL Season 3 between the all-time great Pittsburgh Steelers and the all-time great Los Angeles San Diego Chargers combination here at Sofi Stadium in Los Angeles, California. This new beautiful stadium that oftentimes people are calling a dilapidated carport, and we have the Steelers and the Chargers coming out onto the field for this exciting matchup on Sunday Night Football. Big AFC implications here as the players are getting ready on the field. Antonio Brown of the Pittsburgh Steelers missed a few games, as well as Natrone Means of the Chargers. Both of the captains are coming to the middle of the field to accept the coin toss. The Chargers call heads, they elect to receive, and the Pittsburgh Steelers' Gary Anderson will kick the ball off. The Pittsburgh Steelers have the better record, but the Chargers are still on a hot streak. Anderson kicks it off to Lance Allworth of the Chargers from the 18 to the 28 for a gain of 10. 1st and 10 for the Chargers. Phillip Rivers is the best quarterback in Chargers history. They've got a few good guys in Dan Fouts, but Carnell Lake will sack Phillip Rivers. That is the first big defensive play for the Pittsburgh Steelers. 2nd and 13, LaDainian Tomlinson, best running back of the Chargers, gets tackled for a short loss. They're at around the 21-yard line. Phillip Rivers charges up. He passes to Lance Allworth. It's incomplete. Less than a minute off the clock here in the first quarter, and we already have a punt. Darren Bennett will punt off to all-time great Pittsburgh Steelers receiver Hines Ward, who takes it from the Steelers 23 all the way to the 49 of the Steelers for a gain of 26. First drive for the Pittsburgh Steelers at the 49-yard line of their own team. Jerome Bettis, he goes around defenders. He eventually starts seeing daylight to around the 23-yard line or the 24-yard line. Big gain of 18. Less than 3 minutes left to go in the first quarter. Big pass by Terry Bradshaw to Hines Ward. Deep pass catch. That is the second play from scrimmage for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and they see a quick touchdown and an extra point by Gary Anderson. Sorry, I almost forgot who the quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers was. Wasn't sure if it was Terry Bradshaw or Ben Roethlisberger, but they get the quick touchdown from Hines Ward, who is a great receiver for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Allworth to the Chargers 34. The handoff will go to Tomlinson, and he just goes back. The Chargers have been going back for all of the plays that they've had. They've had one incomplete pass, and that is the first gain of the game. LaDainian Tomlinson for a gain of 5. We got a 3rd down and 9. Rivers, play action, roll out, throws it right to Tomlinson. Ball's intercepted by Rod Woodson of the Pittsburgh Steelers to the 39-yard line. That is a huge turnover for the Steelers to get into good field position. Bettis with the carry left, he gains about 1. They set the Steelers up into good territory. They're one of the better defenses in NFL history, and you don't want to give them the ball. Another run by Bettis, another 1-yard run. 3rd and 8. Up the middle, Franco Harris, the Hall of Famer, has a first down. 1st and 10 at the 29 of the Chargers. Another handoff to Franco Harris. It worked the first time. Why not do it again? It's a gain of 7. Less than 30 seconds in the first quarter, and Rodney Harrison of the Chargers sacks Terry Bradshaw. Big play for the Chargers. 3rd and 12. That's a long situation. Bradshaw goes back. He's got many open receivers. Pressure in his face. Another catch for a touchdown by Hines Ward. This one by 30 yards. 2 touchdowns for Hines Ward early in this game. This is a big turn of events for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Gary Anderson, extra point. It's up, and it is good. Another kickoff here for Gary Anderson right before the end of the first quarter. Lance Allworth returns it from the 8, and he gets to the 19, and that's the end of the first quarter. Score is 14-0. Chargers take over for their 3rd drive of the game. Rivers handoff. No, he won't hand it off. Jack Lambert sacks him. Big sack by Jack Lambert, loss of 4, and the Chargers still go backwards. Another tackle for a loss. Ball carrier being LaDainian Tomlinson, loss of 3. Big block there for Phillip Rivers, but he throws an incomplete pass. It's 4th and 17, and Darren Bennett comes onto the field to punt once again to superstar receiver Hines Ward. Never the flashy player was Hines Ward, but he was the kind of guy who played gritty like they need to play in Pittsburgh, and he helped the Steelers win many games throughout his career. Less than 5 minutes to go in the second quarter. Bradshaw steps up. He's got wheels. He goes up the middle, passed into Chargers territory, and yet another big gain for the Steelers into Chargers territory. 3 minutes and 30 seconds. Harris up the middle. He gets the handoff from his quarterback that he played with back in the 70s. 3rd and 3. Another handoff to the fullback up the middle is Franco Harris. He gets to the 19-yard line for a gain of 10. Inside the red zone of the Chargers. Hand off to Jerome Bettis. The big back doesn't gain anything on that play. 2 minutes and 51 seconds left in the first half. Bradshaw steps up yet again. He gets inside the 5. It's a 1st and goal from the 5. Single back formation. Delayed handoff. Jerome Bettis touchdown. The big man up the middle helps the Steelers take a 3-possession lead. The Chargers beat the Denver Broncos last week. It was shown on BTFL Red Zone. And it was one of those games where they kind of killed the Broncos. It's looking like they might be having a hangover in the next week. Gary Anderson, he will kick off to Lance Allworth, getting it to the 21. And this is one of the reasons why you don't have your best receiver returning kicks and punts, because Lance Allworth is injured. He would be replaced by John Jefferson at one of his return positions, and Natrone Means at his other one. 2 minutes left to go. Play action by Phillip Rivers. He takes it right to LaDainian Tomlinson, the biggest play today for the Chargers. That's a big one. They gained 30 yards to the Steelers' 49, and they'll call their first timeout. At around midfield, Phillip Rivers with the play action. A guy's in his face. John Jefferson with the big catch, and he's got the touchdown. 49-yard touchdown by John Jefferson. And the Chargers get on the board. The score is 21-7 after this Nate Kading made field goal. It took them a while, but the Chargers are making this a game. Nate Kading kicks it off to the Hall of Famer John Stallworth at the 2, and he would make it to around the 16-yard line. Gain of 14. 50 seconds left in the first half, and Terry Bradshaw would hand this one off to Jerome Bettis, and Jerome Bettis gets a short gain on that one. 36 seconds left in the half as Jerome Bettis and the Steelers, they're kind of just running out the clock. Let's see if they get a pass going in this one. But I think that they'll be content to take it to halftime and not be too overly aggressive. But you never know. A timeout here. The Chargers seem to be letting them do whatever they want. Let's see if the Steelers have a last play in this half, a deep pass. Terry Bradshaw, pressure. It's incomplete to Franco Harris. That's the end of the first half. The score is 21-7, and the Steelers have a pretty big lead in this one. Back to you guys after the halftime show. That's a wrap for the first half. All-time great Steelers at all-time great Chargers will begin in the first quarter as Jerome Bettis, he doesn't have a head of lettuce. He's the bus, and he's getting into Chargers territory. And they finish this drive off. Terry Bradshaw to Hines Ward. The ketchup bottles got the touchdown, and he puts the Steelers up 7-0. Second drive for the Chargers as Phillip Rivers would play action, roll out, try to find LaDainian Tomlinson, but he'd be intercepted by the Steelers' Rod Woodson, and that would set the Steelers up very well on 3rd and 12 as Terry Bradshaw, time in the pocket, would find the cumin ketchup bottle yet again. Hines Ward, one of the best receivers in the history of the Pittsburgh Steelers, and that puts the Steelers up by 2 possessions. Next drive for the Steelers in the second quarter, Terry Bradshaw will step up into the pocket, get around defenders. He was known for being quite nimble, and he'd be tackled inside of Chargers territory. Deep in Chargers territory, the delayed handoff to Jerome Bettis. He's not got a head of lettuce. He's the bus. And that puts the Steelers up by 21 points. We have the kickoff here to Lance Allworth of the Chargers. Really great receiver for them, but he would go down at around the 21-yard line. He gets up injured, and he would be replaced by John Jefferson, the receiver. And the Chargers would attempt to do something on this drive. Rivers play action, rollout, bootleg. He finally finds LaDainian Tomlinson, and this would eventually lead to a play action by Phillip Rivers. He would find John Jefferson down the right side, put the Chargers on the board. It is a 21-7 game at halftime, and we'll bring you to the second half. Hey everybody, welcome back to the second half. The all-time great Pittsburgh Steelers, the all-time great LA San Diego Chargers mix. We're back to SoFi Stadium in this primetime Sunday night football game as Nate Kading sets up to kick this ball off. He'll kick it to John Stallworth, and Stallworth makes it from the 10 all the way to the Steelers' 25 after he gets by a few defenders. That took about 30 seconds off the clock. Single back formation for Bradshaw. A lineman gets in his face. He'll throw it deep. Wide open is Hines Ward, and he'll pick up a lot of yards. To the 10, the 5, to the 4-yard line is Hines Ward. That's the 5-yard line. And after one play, this is the situation they have themselves in as Jerome Bettis gains about 2 yards. Second and goal at the 3. Bradshaw back, throws it to the left, and it's incomplete. Intended for Hines Ward. Third and goal. Up the middle, Franco Harris, touchdown! And that is a very dominant run. It's a short run, but it's very dominant by the Pittsburgh Steelers and Franco Harris as they take an even bigger lead, 28-7. Gary Anderson after the extra point, he'll kick it off to Natrone Means, who replaced Lance Allworth. He takes the ball from his end line, and he'll avoid a few defenders. Natrone Means to the 30-yard line. They gain 30 yards on that kick return. The Chargers have a lot to work with here. LaDainian Tomlinson takes the ball left, gets a key block to the 47-yard line. Gain of 17 for the Chargers. 2 minutes and 24 seconds left in the third quarter. Another handoff play to LaDainian Tomlinson, and he gains 8 to the Steelers' 45-yard line. Another time in Steelers territory. Let's see if they take advantage. Big block by Tomlinson, and That's an interception! The ball was intended for John Jefferson. The ball is yet again intercepted by Rod Woodson. The second interception of the game for Rod Woodson. Ball up the middle. It's a loss of 5 by Jerome Bettis. Bradshaw back, 5 yards behind the sticks from where they were before. And the ball is incomplete, intended for Lynn Swan. 3rd and 15. Bradshaw back, throws it over the middle, and it's incomplete. Intended for Franco Harris. And the Steelers are going to punt. Bobby Walden gets his first punt in the game. And this one will be returned, hopefully, by John Jefferson. John Jefferson takes it from the 28-yard line. And he's down and injured, too. So we've got 2 returners for the Chargers who got injured. John Jefferson will be left off the field. He'll be replaced by Kellen Winslow Sr. As a receiver and Natro Means as a punt returner. 28 seconds left in this one. Phillip Rivers, play action, throws it over the middle. Kellen Winslow Sr. with the big catch over the middle. And that's a big game. Scores 28-7 in third quarter. We head over to the fourth. 21 points is what the Chargers need to make up in this one. The big question is, can they do it? LaDainian Tomlinson takes the direct snap, and he'll gain 6. It's at the Steelers' 32-yard line. Over the middle this time, Keenan Allen gets a big first down for the Chargers after a gain of 10. 1st and 10. It's a play action by Rivers. He'll throw it down the right side to Kellen Winslow. Kellen Winslow's got the touchdown. 22-yard reception to help even the score a little bit. Now the Chargers just have to gain 14 points in 4 minutes and 11 seconds, or less than that, because the kickoff will be a few seconds. Nate Kading with the onside kick. Ball bounces around, and it is recovered by the Steelers. 4 minutes in this one. Bradshaw, and he's fighting for not to get sacked. He gets sacked by Leslie O'Neal. Loss of 11. That was a big loss on that one. 2nd and 21. Delayed handoff to Jerome Bettis, and the big man gets closer to the line of scrimmage. And it's 3rd and 12. Gain of 9. Bradshaw, incomplete. Intended for Franco Harris. And the Steelers will punt yet again. This is the exact medicine that the Chargers needed. Bobby Walden, his second punt of the game. This one will be returned by Natro Means if he does return it, but it falls into the end zone. Touchback. 2 minutes and 55 seconds. LaDainian Tomlinson up the middle for a loss of 3. The Chargers will call their first timeout. 2nd and 13. Handoff to, no, it's a play fake. Rivers throws it to Paul Lowe, and Paul Lowe is quick. He makes it to the 36. It's a fumble. Ball's recovered by Aaron Smith, and he gets tackled at the 30. For a gain of 3, the Steelers, with their third turnover of the game, they take over. And Billy Ray Smith will sack Terry Bradshaw. Another big loss of 11 on this one. Chargers call their second timeout. Minute and 55 seconds. Up the middle is Franco Harris. He absolutely fools the camera on that one, and that's a first down. So the Chargers 11. Less than a minute and 30 seconds. Franco Harris takes the handoff left, and that'll be a gain of 3. Minute 23 seconds. Quick pass by Bradshaw, and it's incomplete, intended for Hines Ward. Minute and 14 seconds. Delayed handoff to Jerome Bettis, and it's really only a gain of 1. 4th and 6. It's a 27-yard field goal attempt by Gary Anderson. It's up, and it's it doinks off the uprights, and it's good. We got about 55 seconds left in this one. Gary Anderson kicks off to Natro Means. The Chargers did their best, but they were outclassed by the Steelers. 1st and 10 at the Chargers 25, just playing for pride. Shotgun, Rivers, sacked! Ball's recovered by Mean Joe Green, and Mean Joe Green gets to the 2-yard line. 15 seconds left in this one. Will the Steelers just pile on the points? It looks like they're going to do that. Bradshaw steps up. He throws it. It's a touchdown by Lynn Swan, the graceful one. And the game is 37-14 with Gary Anderson. He's probably going to kick the extra point. And it is going to be 38-14. Big win here by the Pittsburgh Steelers as they move up more in the win column. And I think the Chargers are teetering at a 3-3 record. As Natro Means, he's just playing for pride. Gets to the 34. And the score at the end is 38-14. Big win by the Pittsburgh Steelers. As again, they'll get another win in this one. And we leave SoFi Stadium as we head to the post-game show. All right, everybody, it's the post-game show. Sunday Night Football, Steelers-Chargers. Second half, it's 21-7, and Hines Ward is still pouring it on the Chargers. He's making it inside the red zone of the Chargers, inside the 5-yard line, and they'd end the drive with the Hall of Famer Franco Harris up the middle, showing his dominance and showing that the Steelers are just better than everyone else. It's a 27-7 football game. 28-7, excuse me. Phillip Rivers would eventually find himself in Chargers territory, but he'd make a big mistake here as Rod Woodson gets his second interception of the game. Bobby Walden would punt this one after that drive, and it would go to John Jefferson, who replaced Lance Allworth in this game. He would get tackled, and he would get injured. He's out of the game, and he would be replaced by Natro Means, who is a very good player on the Chargers, did well in the return game. Rivers, he would go back, find Kellen Winslow, who replaced John Jefferson for the touchdown. That would give the Chargers some more points. It'd be 28-14. But then the Steelers would just pile it on even more. Play action. The pass to Paul Lowe, he would attempt to pick up more yardage, but the ball's on the ground. It's a fumble recovered by Aaron Smith. And more points to be scored here. Franco Harris's bull rushing players getting it into the red zone. And this would lead to a Gary Anderson made field goal, giving the Steelers even more points, doinking it off the uprights, 31-14. Phillip Rivers would fumble. It's on the ground. It's a fumble recovered by Mean Joe Green to around the 2-yard line. And then this would lead to Terry Bradshaw stepping up into the pocket, finding his receiver, Lynn Swan, for the touchdown, the graceful one. The Pittsburgh Steelers would eventually blow out the Chargers 38-14, and we'll go on to the Monday Night Football game. Hope you guys enjoy it, and have a really nice day.